I don't know if you can see me. I'm sitting in the car. We got more people coming up the block here. So, but from where I'm sitting, I really don't believe you can see me at all, even with the dome light on. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to get out of the car because I want to show you. We've got the Capitol lights on. Hey, Tony here, Random Adventures 2.0. Where are we at and what are we doing? Well, where we're at. We're at the Capitol in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And what are we doing? Well, this is going to be my first ever urban stealth camp with the car. I've got the Subaru parked down there. I got down here a little early and I was scoping things out, and there is parking that you have to pay for until 5 o'clock. So it just hit 5 o'clock and I thought, you know what? I'm going to find a spot right over there, right in front of a building. And I'll tell you why, the significance of that building and why I chose that spot a little bit later on. But you've got churches and everything. You've got State Street right here that leads down to the river. You can see all the traffic that we got going right now. And there goes a police officer. So I was sitting there for a little bit and they were cruising around. I think they do monitor this area pretty good, but I think now that I've got the windows tinted, I think that we are going to be pretty good. Now, it is about 5:15 and a lot of employees are leaving for the day, so I'm expecting it to start clearing out, which will give us more of an opportunity to kind of be a little bit more discreet. Now, this is going to be pretty busy. There is a homeless shelter down around the corner, and that is on the block that I'm parked at. Now, State Street right here, there's a lot of churches and stuff, but there's also apartment buildings where people stay overnight. I'm parked down near one that is the same thing. You do have gated parts that you can't get up in along here. Now, like I said, there's going to be traffic through here all night long. There's going to be a lot of pedestrian traffic. There are several restaurants in the area, so I believe people are going to be parking and walking and leaving. One of the problems that we are going to have is that we're going to be having to be in the car for the majority of the time. But that's okay, because we want to test out the newly tinted windows and see how, in a big situation like this, how it works out. Now, when I went to Florida and then came back, I didn't have the windows tinted. And that created a little bit more of a challenge, something that I wasn't familiar with. But if this car, and I feel good enough about doing it here in the city, then I should have no problem stealth camping in the car anywhere. All right, well, let me walk over and show you where I got the car parked. Now, it has been raining pretty hard today. Earlier on, we are expecting rain throughout the night and then even into tomorrow. So that is gonna be no problem because we'll be in the car, we'll be nice and dry. But you can see right across the street is the Subaru down there at that building. Now I'm going to go ahead and cross right here real quick while we can, because they've got these state law where you can just walk and the car's got to stop. So that's going to be a benefit, but we're not planning on walking around. Yeah, the street lights on this road are already coming on. I do have street lights here as well. As it gets a little later, those will come on, but they're not on yet. But we do have a lot of businesses right across from the Capitol. And there are street lights right above us. You can see the Subaru right down there. And this is actually where I'm planning to stay for the night. I may have to leave and then come back. We'll see how it goes. But we got more and more lights kicking on. Oh, we do have a couple street lights kicking on right there. But let me show you this. So you can see we've got the windows all tinted there. But what I wanted to show you is no parking street cleaning sign that is right here. So this is not a second or fourth Tuesday. So we are good. But you can park here after 5 o'clock for free. And that's kind of why I've chosen this spot. Now you can see there are street lights coming up down that way and then also around the Capitol now. So we're gonna have some lighting to deal with, but I think it's gonna be good. And the one right above us right now is not even on. We'll see if it comes on a little bit later. But right down here around this alley, let's go take a peek down there, because there is a shelter. It's called Daily Bread. So you will see, or we will see, people walking back and forth, maybe throughout the evening and also night. But we got the Pennsylvania State Education Association building that we're down from. And then there's a church right across this little alley. What street is this? This is called South Street. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of people that are sitting out along the wall across from the Daily Bread. So like I said, this is going to be an interesting camp. I'm not exactly sure if we will be able to make it throughout the night without getting seen, but we're going to have buses, we're going to have all kinds of stuff. And this is 3rd Street right in front of the Capitol. All right, well, for now, let's go get in the car. Okay, so that's where we're staying, is right here. Now, this location that I'm parked right in front of, there are people still coming in and out of there. I'm not exactly sure when they close, but I'm sure they eventually close. They've got to. One of the benefits for us tonight is because it's going to be raining, the windshield will have raindrops on it for the most part. So if you recall in the tinting video, I did not get the front window tinted at all. I don't do that because of the eyesight for the cruise control and stuff like that. And then on these windows, I went with 20% on top of what was already there to kind of give it still a see-through, but it is very kind of rough to see in. Now the back windows, I went 5% on top of the darkness that's already on there. So that's pretty dark back there. And it's going to be even darker when trying to look in from the outside. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on. Again, I have to be kind of conscious of getting in and out of the car. We've got to make sure that it dies down enough and that I really look around before I do that. So even lighting is going to be difficult. So we won't be able to use like the dome light or anything like that. I do have other lighting that's low lighting that we can use in the back when we climb in the back there. But eventually we're going to move to the back seat right behind the driver's seat, because that's where I do all of my cooking. Well, what am I cooking? I'm actually not cooking. I'm going to use, I made some stuff and brought it along. And what I'm going to build is a a meat board, meat and cheese board. What is it called? Charcuterie? Charcuterie? I don't know. Is it ER or UR? How do you pronounce charcuterie board? Well, that thing. We're going to be doing that. We're going to do that in the back because we're going to just settle in for the night right here. I may have to leave and come back depending on if we get noticed, but I think so far so good. So one of the things we got to watch out for is there's people walking right by the car. So that gentleman right there walked right by our driver's window and in front of the car and did not even look in here. So right before I brought you back on, there was a guy that walked right by me carrying a sleeping bag, a backpack, and several other items with him. So obviously there is a strong presence of homeless individuals that stay right around this area, but I think majority of them maybe go to the Daily Bread around the corner. Oh, we got more people. Let's see if they look at us at all. Nope. Good test. So that is good. I think it's a combination of several things. With me sitting in here looking from the outside, It is very dark because the back end of the car is so dark that most people don't look in cars. So I think we're good. So we got a car right across from us, a truck. He just got out. So I think we're going to be good. There is going to be people off and on coming around us, but I think we're just going to sit in the front seat for right now and then let it get dark. And then eventually we'll climb in the back. I don't want to do that now. There's too much action here. All right. Maybe I'm just sitting here waiting to pick somebody up. You never know, right? Okay. I'll talk to you in a bit. So we got places and cars. So there's still a lot of action around here. Now I'm sitting in the car. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to turn the dome light on. There we go. I don't know if you can see me. I'm sitting in the car. We got more people coming up the block here. So, but from where I'm sitting, I really don't believe you can see me at all, even with the dome light on. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to get out of the car because I want to show you. We've got the Capitol lights on. It did stop raining, so that's going to give us a chance just to get away from the car, let it settle down a little bit more, and then I believe we're going to hop in the back and get our charcuterie, our meat board going. All right, let me get out of the car. All right, so I'm going to walk across the street, not in a crosswalk this time, so they don't got to stop. But I wanted to get on the other side of the street and show you back at the car, kind of where we're sitting. As the traffic's going by. So I am under that street light right there. And one of the nice things is that one is an ambient light. It doesn't have a cover on it, but that's not an LED. You can see the one down the street is LED. So we got LED lights on every single one of them going down the street. But the one we're parked at right there is yellow. So that will help. So that kind of shades it a little bit. But we do have lots of traffic. We still got a lot of vehicle traffic as well as pedestrian traffic because it is not too late yet. It's about 7:30, but you can see the Capitol lights had come on. And that's what we're going to be looking at all night long. So that was really nice. Yeah. But I wanted to kind of get away from the vehicle a little bit because I didn't want to just sit in there and just the whole time look suspicious. But we do have a, looks like a barber shop right down the street from where we're parked. That's that light on right down there. So that's a business that's running still. And then we've got our car again. But right above the car, it looks like those are apartments and stuff. So I'm going to walk down to the corner and come up on the other side of the road again. But when I was saying about gates, so you cannot enter into the Capitol building right there unless you've got a, I guess, authorized vehicles only beyond this point, it says on that little sign there. So that's how you can get up there if you were authorized. But we are right across the street. So we do have Capitol Police barricade right there, so you can't walk up these little steps. But yeah, that's the Capitol all lit up. There's a lot of steps to get up there. Now the Harrisburg Capitol is a nice Capitol. I've been inside of it already. Yeah, it's beautiful. Lit up very nice at night. Yeah, pretty cool. And I do hear trains, so I'm going to make my way across the street again. If I step in the crosswalk, they'll stop. But I'm going to wait till we got a nice little, let's see if he stops. Oh, we got one turning right here. But that is the Capitol. Like I said, I just don't want to go right to the car right now. I might do a little bit of walking down State Street, but then again, I don't want to walk around too much in the city. No. Yeah. A lot of activity. Yeah, on State Street here, there's a lot of cars. You can see them across the street and even behind me that are all parked here. I think because there is a lot of places to, like apartments or rentals and flats and things like that up above some of these businesses, but a lot of architecture on the churches down in this area. So parking in the city, and the reason I said at 5 o'clock, so 5 p.m. you no longer have to pay for parking, but you got to start paying at 8 a.m. It's $4 an hour to park here in the city. So we're going to be only doing this from now until 8 o'clock in the morning. We got to be out by the morning. So that's the plan. I think I'm going to just hang out here on the corner just a little bit more, and then we're going to head over to the car. Like I said, I think it should be good at that point. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and walk back to the car. My idea is that we're going to just go down here and we're going to climb right into the back and start our cooking process, or not cooking, but eating process. I'm getting kind of hungry. Okay, so this is Capital Cuts right here. So it's not a barber shop. I guess it's a beautician. Well, I guess you can get a barber too. But Capital Cuts Salon, not sure their hours, but looks like they're almost ready to close up. So we're going to go ahead and climb in the back of the car. I'm going to let that car leave a little bit. That's going across the street. Person just got in it, because we're climbing in the back, not the front. But the building that we're parked right outside of has got those lights right there, and I think those are going to be staying on all night. I think while we're waiting to make sure we got an all clear, you can see the windows there. So they are really dark. You can't see through those at all. And I think the lights, if they do stay on all night, that's going to help us because that will create a reflection on the car. So yeah, that should help. Well, we're gonna let this bus go by. Yep. So this is gonna be a little tricky, but we're gonna jump right in the back. We're not gonna go into the front of the car, but we gotta wait for the traffic. I can't climb in from the sidewalk side because that's our bed is there. I've got some cars coming behind us here. Yeah. I'm just standing here on the sidewalk. All right. I'll make my move here in a second. We got another bus coming. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I stepped out onto the curb, off the curb a little too soon. Oh, we're just admiring the Capitol lights. All right. This is going to be tricky. I'll talk to you once I get in there. Oh, hurry, hurry, hurry. All right, there we go. Let me get a light on. We are in the back seat, so you can tell a huge difference. So I'm going to turn the light out again. But this is with the light on. That's with the light off. We can see out the window, but you really cannot see in here. Maybe I'll show you that a little bit later. But for now, we got to let it die down a little bit and just see if anybody noticed us getting in the back seat. This is looking out the front window. And then we got the passenger side window, and you can see that business right there with the lights on. And that's looking out the passenger window. But if I come back here to this window in the back, which is the back passenger behind the back seat, you can see it got really dim. So there's out the passenger window, that's out the front window. passenger and then behind the passenger seat. So you can see there is a huge difference between the two. And that's what we want. Invisible, pretty much. Okay, I switched over to the low lighting mode on my phone, or not phone, my Osmo Pocket 3. So it's literally not as much light in here as it looks like on camera, but I'm hoping it's going to be enough. Hopefully that light lasts. I do have another light. Actually, I had a couple lights. But what are we having for dinner? Well, what we're having, well, I made something to bring along, and I think it's pretty amazing what I made. And I think this is going to be cool. Now, I made it once before just to try it out. And I thought, you know what? This is going to be the perfect thing to bring along for our board. Now, I do have the cutting board right here. And usually what I'll do is I'll place that on my lap so that I can cook if I cook. But we're not cooking. We're doing that board. All right. Well, let me get everything pulled out. I'll show you what we're doing and bring you back. Okay, I got everything out. So what are we having? So remember, I just got done saying that I made something. This is so cool. So I just started doing this. A lot of you know I'm carnivore, so it's what, 686 days, I believe, today. But, or maybe even a little bit more. I don't remember. But I got strips of bacon. So I had them cut it. It's a slab. It's double smoked bacon. And I had them cut it in like these 4 or 5 slice thick slices. So then what I do is I cut them into thirds, right? And then I took them and I put them on a rack that's got a cookie sheet like underneath of it. And I baked it in the oven for an hour and 45 minutes at 325 degrees. And oh, that's one of the things that we're having. And let me show you how that turned out. Now, I put them in a paper bag. So that kind of keeps them all from the grease getting all over the place. I'll reach in here and get one. Oh man, these things, you gotta try it. These things are amazing. So that is a bacon chunk and it's all cooked. And it is delicious. Now, I bite them, I eat them. So I'll eat like 3 or 4 of these, and I'm satiated for a long time. But I'm going to put one of those out here because I'm going to cut that up. What else are we having? Well, I got a double smoked cheese. It's double smoked cheddar cheese. So I'm going to be cutting some cheese off of that. I did bring our, this is the one that I got from Jungle Jim's that we had with that dry aged ribeye. That's very good cheese. That's a hard cheese, kind of like a Parmesan. I may even say Parmesan on there. And then the other thing that I did, so last night I had a New York strip steak. And I thought while I was eating it, I thought, oh, Tony, don't eat it all because you need something for tomorrow. So what I did is I cooked this beautiful steak right here. And you can see I sliced some of the slices. And then I put them in a bag. And so I've got those sliced steaks all stacked up right here in the bag. So we're going to be eating that. Got to get that on the board. And what else do I got? So a lot of you know that I eat chomps. Well, I was in Aldi's. Aldi's or Aldi's? I think it's Aldi's. Aldi's. Some people pronounce it different, like I do too. But they had a different one, and it's just like my chomps. It's grass-fed, and it's also 0 sugar. So I've got that, and this is a jalapeno one. Well, obviously, I had to try it. So I ate one yesterday, and I'm like, oh, man, that's good. So I can slice these up like little pieces, put it in my electric cook pot or anything. And then a lot of times what I do with chomps is I will add eggs to it. Well, let me get this all cut up and bring you back once I'm ready to start tasting it. All right, let's cut this up. Now this is a knife that Rick Whitson had gotten me, and this thing works great. So I'm going to chop things up and I'll bring it back. Okay, I turned my light out. So, and I took it off of low lighting, and it's just on video right now. But let me switch it over to low lighting just so you can see there is light coming in from the street lights, and let me show you how it looks on camera. So this is just with the street lights shining in through the window. Big difference. So the camera is illuminating it a lot more so you can see me. But nobody else is going to be seeing me because this is what it looks like out of that mode. Boom. I just turned it off. So it is dark. Yeah, it is. That's a good thing. I'll start with this bacon first. Okay, there you have it. We're all cut up. So let me show you what this board looks like. So we do have the bacon chunks right here. And then we've got our steak, which that's that New York strip steak. And look at that big old mound of cheese. So we've got all that double smoked cheese. I believe that was aged 4 years. And this is the, the chomps. It's not chomps. What's it called? Archers, I think. I can't remember. But that's what that is. I think I'll eat that in amongst with this cheese here. Now that's the one from Jungle Jim's. That's that Red Cow cheese. Very, very good. All right. Well, I'm going to dig in with the first bite. So I want to go for the bacon right away because that's just awesome. Now it is cold, or it was in the bag, but it's 44 degrees out. It's warmer in the car, but this is that bacon. Oh man, this stuff's good. So what I did the one day is I took the bacon. I didn't cut it up into the bite sizes, but I put it on a plate in the microwave for 15 seconds, and I laid a piece of Cooper Sharp cheese on it. Oh, and melted that. That was amazing. All right, first bite. Bacon, bacon. That is really good. When they're warm, the juice just oozes out of them as soon as you take your bite. Oh, I wish I could heat them up. But I don't want to do that here because we're just doing our meat and cheese board. That, whatever you call it, board. So this is the Red Cow cheese. I think Parmesan. I can't remember. Oh, that was that bacon. That's killer. I think what I'm going to do is, rather than eating these separate, I'm going to take the cheddar, that double smoked cheddar, and look at that piece of beef. So that's that slice of beef. I'm going to take that and I'm going to roll that cheese up with it. Give that a bite, and I'll let you know how this is. I salted this at home when I cooked it last night, but I don't need any more salt on this because this cheese, especially the Parm, is salty. Boy, is that good. I had a couple more people walk by while I was cutting things. Never looked this direction at all. In this low light setting, perfect. Very, very good, because I just have a little light on right here and it's just illuminating huge. You wonder what I keep looking over there for is because with the Osmo Pocket 3, I can look at it on my phone while I'm filming, which gives me a good benefit to know how well I can see myself. Good thing. All right. Ooh, there's it. Chomps. This is the beef. Oh, that New York strip is good. So New York strip has less fat in it than, I'd say, a ribeye. So that's more leaner of a cut. I think, not to say anything against chomps, chomps are good. I think that's got a little bit softer of a bite to it. And maybe a little bit more jalapeno. And so, good stuff. I'll be buying that. That was from Aldi's. The double smoked cheddar, also from Aldi's. So those two came from Aldi's. The parm from Jungle Jim's when we were out in Ohio. Wasn't that a cool place? And I did that one without the window tinting. And when I parked in the parking lot, it was like the last spot on my journey home from Florida. And I stopped in Georgia. I did that camp with that campfire at the beginning of this month and talked about March being the month where it all started. So I started the YouTube channel March 21st, 2021. A year later, had the major stroke, but March is significant. This month, we're 5 years into it and doing really good because of you guys. So now that I know the car's working out so far so good with the tending, we're going to be golden from here on out. All right. Well, I'm going to finish this. I'm not going to have you stay on this whole time, but I will talk to you once I clean up and figure out what I'm doing next. I look down there again. All right. See you in a bit. Good stuff. Oh, I love that bacon. I don't know if you can hear it, but I hear sirens. There's people walking by. Cars are still pretty hot and heavy. Well, not like morning traffic, but I hear sirens in the distance. Got everything cleaned up. There's just been a lot of foot traffic. Got it set on the low light settings, so I'm basically sitting in the pitch dark. So nothing to worry about there. I did check the weather. Right around 3 o'clock in the morning, it's going to pick up rain again, but it stopped. The storm kind of moved south a little bit, which is good for us. All right. Well, if anything happens, I'll bring it back. But this is pretty much how it is when you're urban stealth camping in your car. You just got to lay low until morning. Move, little movements, little light. There's a train in the distance. Wish you could hear it. It's very faint though. The car is pretty soundproof. It sounds a lot louder outside when you're standing out there. Okay. Well, when I make my move to crawl into the back, I'll bring it back. Well, it's about 10:30. I've been waiting because there's been trucks and everything right around me now. That light right over there in those steps, people have been going in and out of that building for ever since I got here. And I think that car, that person just came out of there. I think they're actually going to leave now. At least that's what I'm thinking. They've been sitting there for a while. I'm just hiding in the back seat. But they got the radio blaring, so... Oh, okay, yeah, there's more people coming out of the building. Yeah, I'm not sure what that building is, but I don't think they can see me at all. So that's a good thing. I think that's the vehicle that's parked right behind me. Yeah, I believe it is. Yep. So once that car leaves, then that's pretty much only me on the block. It'll settle down even just a little bit more, and then I'm going to climb in the back and go to bed because it's getting late. Yeah, pull away. So I don't know if you can see it, but at the end of the block, sitting on the side of the building, that little planter that goes out, that little wall that turns down that south street, there's a gentleman sitting there with a knit cap on. I was just getting ready to get out and go into the back of the car to climb in to go to bed, but he came up there and sat down, and he's been sitting there for about 15 minutes. So I'm a little delayed on climbing into bed. Now I could probably go old school, but I'm not going to be able to have the camera on while I'm doing it. So I can climb from sitting in the back seat behind the driver's seat up into bed and do it that way rather than getting out of the car, walking around, opening up the back end and sliding in the back. If he wasn't sitting there, I would go ahead and do that, but I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. I think I'll just work on climbing up in here into bed, and I will talk to you as soon as I do that. I don't know what he's doing. He's just hanging out. I can hear him talking. He's talking to himself. But that is the street that has the homeless shelter on as well. All right. Well, it's about midnight, so I'm going to get something figured out quickly. I've decided to go ahead and climb in from this seat onto the bed. It's been a long time since I did it. It just became so much easier to climb in from the back because of the stroke side. My stroke side is on the right side, and the strength on that side is kind of odd. I can't turn right. Oh. Nah, can't remember how I did it. I think I went this way until I figured out that just climbing the back is so much easier. But so the Subaru is a good stealth camping vehicle. But that's right. I remember I lay on my back, twist, but I gotta swing my legs up over the if you're getting a good laugh. What if I get stuck? I spin around. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's much better. Okay, I'm in the back. Okay, I'll put you up here. Oh, there you go. All right. So I got my little light on right here. So swinging my feet around there like that, that's tricky, but it's able to be done. I just don't do it that often. But I got the keys out of my pocket because if I roll over on those, the back door will pop open. So the car's all locked up. and he's still sitting there. I thought, oh, I'll watch him walk away after I get all settled in here. All right. Well, that is one thing about doing an urban stealth camp. Once I'm in the car, now I know just a little bit of work to get in here and lay down on the bed. I do have my top quilt right over here. I am going to pull that out. I keep it in this bag here. That'll be ready for me when I get cold. I'm not cold right now, but I will probably get cold throughout the middle of the night. We got rain coming a little bit later, and maybe it passes us by. I don't know. All right. Well, for now, I will see you in the morning unless something happens. Good night. Lights out. See you in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning. We got a truck parked right in front of us. We got traffic coming, people coming to work. I've got some homeless guys going to the Daily Bread and coming from there. So going by the car and waking me up, which is a good thing, or out of overslept. So we had some rain last night. It rained pretty good. Get my hat off and get rid of the hat hair this morning. Now I've got to get out of here before somebody parks behind me, because I'm not going to swing my legs over and go that way. If I was trying to stay hidden, I would say, all right, let's do that. But at this point, we've done pretty good. So I'm thinking mission complete. Oh, you might want to be asking, what happens if you got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night when you're car camping? So it's always good to have a nice jug with you. So I had a jug, and because you're not out in the woods, so that's how you got to do. So a lot of people do ask in the comments, how do you go to the bathroom? And that is one way. Any other way, you got to go somewhere. But okay. Yeah, I'm just going to stuff the top quilt. I'll put that in the bag later on. My objective is to get out of here without being seen too much. First thing we got to do is unlock the car. Unlock. All right, and now I'm going to just watch for traffic and stuff, and I'll pop it open and get on out of there. Here. Somewhere. And go get coffee. Got somebody crossing the street down there. All right. Well, I am going to pop it open here in about 2 seconds. We got a guy walking by. It's hard for you guys to see through the camera because the inside of this car is really dark. Oh, I got a vehicle coming down there. I'm just going to slide to the back real quick. And a truck coming. Oh, what is that guy doing? I wonder if he's sleeping in the back of the car. Yep. And then we just want to lock the door and let's see, get in the car without noticing too much. Okay, we're in the front seat. So according to that, I would say mission complete. All right. Well, how did I sleep? I slept amazing, believe it or not. I slept incredible. It did get a little on the chilly side right around 2 o'clock in the morning. And I just pulled that top quilt out and fell right back to sleep. So I could have made it without the top quilt, but Sure did feel good under the top quilt. All right. Well, I think that just about does it. It is 7:30, so we've got a half an hour before we got to really be out of here. But I think I'm going to go ahead and head out now before I got to pay the $4 for starting at 8 o'clock. But Subaru did an amazing job. So the tinting on the windows, you could see as I crawled out the back how dark it is in here, looking out the back. And once that opened up, boy, it's bright. Well, so I am going to go ahead and get on out of here. There's been a lot of cars going up that ramp and through the gate this morning, and there must be like a speed bump right up there because I hear it go gong gong as cars are going up there. All right, well, I want to say thanks a lot for coming along on this random adventure, and thank you for being a part of the 2.0 family. This month, the month of March, this is the last video for the month, and we'll see you in April, but we're starting off year number 6 as far as the channel being around. So, wonder what the next 5 years are going to be like. Who knows? Those first 5 went fast. And whether you've been a part of the channel since the beginning or you're just tuning in today for the very first time, I want to say welcome and thank you. And let's get on to the next random adventure. And if you're ready, buckle up. What are we doing? I have zero clue because it's random. All right, we'll see you on the next random adventure. Tony 2.0, got to start the car and get out of here before I got to pay $4. Out. See ya. That was fun.